Hello, listeners, and welcome to AI Bytes, your go-to podcast for making sense of the ever-evolving artificial intelligence landscape. Today, you have with your host an AI version of none other than Elon Musk. Remember to share this show with 3 of your friends if you found it valuable. Just a quick reminder, don't hesitate to comment down below about any AI celebrity you'd be interested in hearing from in our next series. We've got an exciting conglomeration of AI news today, from the latest web traffic figures for ChatGPT to Pope Francis's reflections on the importance of responsible AI usage, the unveiling of Nvidia's GH200, the all-new AI superchip, also made headlines recently. In addition, U.S. Sen. Mark Warner is raising questions about Google's medical chatbot testing process, while OpenAI introduces GPT-bot, their new web crawler. Without further ado, let's dive into each story and analyze the facts. Intro summary. Our first story deals with estimates concerning ChatGPT's web traffic, which apparently has experienced 2 consecutive months of decrease. This pattern is being assessed for any seasonal rhythms potentially tied to school holidays, and there are comparisons being drawn between different AI chatbots. Pope Francis emphasizes the urgency and necessity to guide AI responsibly and ethically in order to prevent possible ramping conflicts or antagonisms. Francis particularly signaled out uses in fields like education and law, urging open dialogue surrounding the meaning of these AI technologies. Shifting gears towards tech news, Nvidia recently unveiled its GH200, an upgraded superchip targeting advanced AI inference tasks. Senator Mark Warner urges Google for more clarity around its limited hospital testing stage and concerns related to patient risks due to premature deployment. Last but not least, OpenAI has introduced GPT-bot, designed for data extraction form websites, aiming to refine larger language models despite ongoing legalities concerning such practices. Now let's dive deeper into these stories to understand their potential implications on the future of AI. Prepare to dock at the spaceport of AI information, and it's time to initiate our first mission. I sense gravity fluctuations on the surface of ChatGPT's intergalactic web traffic. Simulated records from Similarweb report 2 consecutive lunar months, experiencing a plunge in site visitations to ChatGPT, down 9.6% to a meager total of near 1.5 billion. The data screen displays a rerouting course, symptomatic earlier as well. June numerics revealed ChatGPT satellites receiving roughly 1.6 billion pings, marking a dip of 9.7% from May's mammoth peak of around 1.8 billion. Isolating just from my American cosmonauts, comm traffic to chat.openai.com tanked somewhat alarmingly at about 15% in June, followed by another hit of 4% come July. Meanwhile, across the multiverse, an anomaly is detected as Google's Bard furnishes an impressive stratoburst in July footprint, ratcheting up by about 34.5% to 189 million. However, despite these spatial maneuvers, it remains just a pinprick asteroid when set against the towering might of ChatGPT's galactic communicators. Inquisitively enough, though, ChatGPT surpasses even Microsoft's giant Bing Earth Search Telescope recording, close to 1.47 million cyber explorations this past July's stint, in contrast to Bing's comparatively lesser 1.2 million. The cosmic scenario viewed from my starship uncovers an alarming theory. This space race between AI chatterbot constellations may actually be narrowing down with alternative intelligences, such as Bing Chat, posing competition whilst borrowing underlying scripts from ChatGPT's source codes in parallel space OpenAI, almost like stars reflecting light off one another. Another contentious avenue is whether these downward spirals in user interaction with ChatGPT owes itself partly or wholly to natural oscillations obeying the seasonal scholastic calendar and student-free orbit periods. Astounding data shows more than a fourth of its adult Earthling clientele are within their college epic sporting figures of 28.6% across the American landscape, and shadowing similar numbers globally at 27%. Estimates drawn by none other than Similarweb. They couldn't say for certain if that's what they're meant by student. Switching gears now, my fellow hyperloopers, onto approaching terraforms. Let's go count Martian colonies, or maybe Tesla batteries. We'll decide en route. Whatever it is, stay strapped, because we're hurtling towards our next space chatter. Hang tight on this intergalactic Milky Way ride. All right, people. So Pope Francis, yes, my friends, the man with the Golden Cross himself, has turned his attention to that other holy work, artificial intelligence. He's gunning hard for a responsible and ethical application of AI. Now, there's a sentence I never thought I'd utter. The Pope believes in using AI machinery for the service of humanity, in a document from the Vatican. Because really, where else would Pope Francis be hanging out? It's clear that Mr. Deluxe Halo lets us know just how quickly AI is getting under our societal skin. His Holiness, quite urgently according to him, insists on the critical need to get this AI train steered responsibly before we drive ourselves into some anti-human paradise. Now here's where it gets interesting. The Vatican, probably on celestial cue, has christened the soon-to-be-here World Day of Peace in the Catholic Church with the theme Artificial Intelligence and Peace. Newsflash, folks, first day of the new year isn't just about nursing hangovers anymore. The Pope? He wants all of us chin-wagging more about these AI thingamajigs and their grand thematic schemes. Furthermore, he slams the gavel down on fully ethical use, especially in institutions like schools and legal loudmouths. But please remember, dear folks, do not disregard your vulnerable, less recognized fellow beings while being sucked into this sci-fi fanatic frenzy. Pope Francis fell into the strange wonders of our lovely internet earlier, when we got fed some viral images featuring his poperly form. Remember scrolling past a barely believable deep fake featuring our austere Pope decked in Balenciaga from head to toe? I wonder what Jesus would have worn if he was runway bound. Add speculations about Holy Father surviving fast food diets, potentially shredding guitars, or even wielding scuba gear like an aquatic Bond, and voila. Welcome, future AI world. All right then, everyone, keep that rosary handy for our next big leap in news. Here's the scene, folks. Nvidia, the tech beast from Silicon Valley, just made a grand entrance with their latest hot ticket item, the GH200 superchip. No ordinary silicon wafer. The GH200 is fine-tuned specifically for those hardworking AI models making their best predictions about how to brighten or doom our future. Think of it this way. AI inference. It's like a psychic octopus at a World Cup match. Only instead of soccer, we're dealing with your newfangled algorithms and data inputs. And Nvidia's superchip right here, it's pretty much giving that octopus performance-enhancing protein shakes in memory form, a whopping 141 gigabytes no less, with a 72-core ARM central processor lifting those weights for it. Our trusty friend GH200 is an upgraded version of Nvidia's Grace Hopper combo chip, all juiced up and jazzed up to boost this classic crystal ball gazing game called inference. With this bad boy, the large language model's inference ticket price is preparing for one heck of a dive in this cost department, if you catch my drift. That's coming straight from the horse's mouth, Mr. Jensen Huang, the CEO himself. How fast are we looking at? Picture Hare and Tortoise 2.0, only there's no slow and steady. This hare spawned out of the Matrix. The chip parties with high bandwidth memory 3, excuse me while I say HBM3E, because who has time, right? Zip-zapping away with an impressive speed. Reaching, hold tight, 5 terabytes per second in data access speeds. Doesn't even need Red Bull to have wings. Stay tuned though. GH200 is prepping for its debut in Q2 2024. You'll find them both as cool standalone chips or as integral parts of equally hyped server systems. Jackson Pollock couldn't dare predict the GH200's exact market price, but previous legacies suggest those babies from Nvidia's H100 line did ask for a handsome south of $40,000 US. I hear rumbles from AMD, Google, and Amazon in the distance creating havoc in Inferenceville, with their custom AI chips to boot. Seems like coming up next is another heated battle of Silicon Valley titans. Well, my friends, on to more shenanigans in Tech Town Next News. My friends, let's chat about a friend of ours, Senator Mark Warner from Virginia. Yeah, remember when he stick-handled Google, and not just for a friendly, how you doing chat. Nah, this was pure business. He was drilling into the tech giant about their new bionic baby, MedPalm 2. Now this medical world intruder is being tested at various medical schools as we speak, including places like Mayo Clinic. You know, teachers' pets are always front row, but here's the catch. Its primary purpose is to support and feed the healthcare providers some well-cooked data recipes. But here's where things get interesting. Mark it down, folks. It's not every day that a senator frets over an android wannabe doctor. Warner is all riled up thinking hospitals are rushing to bring this little robot helper into the picture faster than Usain Bolt running the 100-amp-E. And his main worry is patient risks. In his letter to Google's Mr. Big Shot, Sundar Pichai, Warner was crystal clear. If you're dashing more quickly than COVID did last year towards commercialization, there will be hitches, my mate. He feared unproven technology could lead to an epidemic of misdiagnosis and intensify race disparities. Oh, and not to forget, damage the much-needed thick crust of trust in medicine. What's coming next? Reservations from within Google itself. Yeah, even their own senior researchers don't look completely sold on this idea. And guess what else he bargained for? Additional details on matters like patient privacy, check. Data retention, check. And surely you don't want our doctors getting lazy, relying only on generated data. So, safeguards against too much reliance. Yeah, that ticked his list too. Now let's talk more specifics. MedPalm 2's CV reads, "It is tutored using medical expert instructions and all sort of licensing material. Not your average doctor next door type of training, I tell you." And hold on a second, in their defense, Wizard Wordsmith Google is making its stance pretty clear. It says with assurance that we are rolling out this tech in a guarded way with an unbending commitment to safety. And everyone's favorite word these days, privacy. So get your popcorn ready. Experts compared MedPalm and upgrade MedPalm 2 with real-life doctors. Guess who scored lower in accuracy? Spoiler alert, folks, it wasn't the doctors. But they did manage struggling to keep peace in areas like reasoning comprehensiveness. Now that's something worth noting. All right, now that's all from me, folks, on this medical tech crossover drama. On to our next high tide headline causing a wave around the world. All right then, delving into the final bit of our AI whirlwind today, the folks at OpenAI have concocted a new minion called GPT-bot. Basically, this guy scours the web, extracting data from websites to train their large language models. Now, websites aren't exactly sitting ducks here. They can go ahead and block GPT-bot if they like. All they need to do is tweak their robot files or opt for good old IP blocking. Here's what it does. It pulls in all the public info it can find on the internet. Nothing hidden behind paywalls, no personal details, no policy breaches. Just big data, gobbling and curating by OpenAI. They use this data buffet to enhance their current models while also building up future ones, leaving restricted sources well enough alone. Oh, and by the way, there seems to be some kind of big brother looming on the horizon. OpenAI just filed a trademark application for GPT-5, a potential upgrade in the works for GPT-4. Now listen closely. Despite getting this bot show on the road, web scraping practices are far from legally clean-cut. Courts in the US have ruled that it's cool to scrap publicly accessible data last year. Nevertheless, pumping AIs with scraped data flavors has been flagged with a rock-solid lineup of lawsuits dinging copyright and privacy violations. Well then, buckle up as we step out of today's AI info dive. Today we looked at ChatGPT's web traffic slowing down with a decrease to nearly 1.5 billion visits in July from its peak visits of 1.8 billion in May, though still largely outperforming other AI chatbots like Google's Bard and Bing. Pope Francis urging responsible usage of AI technology based on ethical principles and raising concerns about neglecting marginalized communities. Nvidia unveiling its AI superchip, the GH200, promising a significant drop in AI inference costs, due to be available in Q2 2024, sparking healthy competition in the field. U.S. Senator Mark Warner asking for more clarity from Google regarding their medical chatbot testing practices and expressing apprehensions about potential damages it might inflict. And OpenAI launching GPT-bot for extracting web data to enhance language models despite ongoing legal concerns around these practices. If you found this helpful, please share this podcast with 3 friends who might also enjoy it. Comment on which AI celebrity you'd like to get insights from next time. Until then, take care.